Welcome back to my little series about online business lessons I've learned in the past 3 years while making well over six figures now. So I'm James Holt and thank you for listening to another one of my videos. In this lesson we're going to cover multiple of my 20 business lessons. I'm actually going to cover number 5, 6 and 7 in this one because they all tie into more or less the same thing. So let me read those for you. Number 5, persistence is only a virtue if you're on the right path. Just keep going doesn't help if you're walking in the wrong direction. Number 6, working harder won't help you if you're on the wrong path. You're then just running in the wrong direction. Number 7, finding the balance between quitting too early and pursuing a bad idea too long is only possible through experience. Those are some big lessons, so let those settle in for a minute and then we'll talk about it a little more. So, number 5, persistence is only a virtue if you're on the right path. There's this hard trade-off because a lot of beginners quit too early. And if you quit too early, then you're never going to see results. If you try something for 2 weeks, don't get results and quit, then you're never going to succeed with anything. Because it does take time. If you're getting into online business, whatever you're doing, it does take some time to see results. Don't expect to see results on day one, regardless of what you're doing. Freelancing, dropshipping, niche sites, you won't see results on day one with any of the models I teach. However, at some point, you need to decide whether you're on the right path or not. Because if you're on the wrong path and you just keep pursuing that because you want to be persistent, you don't want to be like one of those quitters who just gives up, then you kind of risk wasting a lot of your time. Being persistent is great if you're on the right path, and it's detrimental if you're persistent for too long while you're on the wrong path. You just keep going and going and going, wasting your time going in the wrong direction. So, how do you know if you're on the right path? Well, as a beginner, frankly, you don't. You can get guidance from people, but ultimately you don't know what you're doing. You're a beginner. That's what it's like as a beginner. You're only going to be able to find this balance between quitting too soon and being persistent for too long with an idea that is doomed to fail. Finding that balance, it takes experience. And the way you get experience is by making mistakes. Specifically, you're going to have to stick to your chosen path for too long, a couple of times, before you start to realize that, before you start to recognize signs. Like, when I got started with blogging, I was persistent, but I was persistent on the wrong things. I was persistent on blogs that were never going to work. In fact, blogging as a whole was never really going to work for me. And I was being persistent because I thought that was the key. Everyone told me you have to be consistent, you have to keep putting out content and eventually you'll get results. But the truth is, if I'd stuck with this for 3 years with my shitty little weight loss blogs I had back in 2015, if I'd stuck with them for 3 years, I probably would not have made much money at all. Simply because it was the wrong path. Luckily, I was only persistent for so long before I realized, okay, this isn't working, let's try something else. And the great thing about online business is you can sort of dabble or test different ventures, different projects on a small scale. You can do that at the same time. So for me, I was doing blogging and then I added on some freelance copywriting, which I immediately made money. I made money within a week as a freelance copywriter. Just got on Upwork, got a job and got paid. Was the work great? No, it sucked. Was the pay great? No, absolutely not. But I got paid in a week, more money than I made in 3 months of blogging. So after that I moved on, I tried some niche sites, all while continuing to blog and continuing to freelance. Then I started getting results from niche sites. When I started getting results there, I quit my blog. I decided, look, if these niche sites are working after 2 months and my blog isn't working after 5 months, time to shut down the blog. Niche sites are the way to go. And I kept doing the freelancing though until I was making more money with niche sites than I was with freelancing. At that point I decided, let's quit this freelancing crap. I hate the work. I don't think it's scalable. I don't like working for other people. I want to work on my own projects. And because I was already getting results, which I built up while also freelancing at the same time, I was able to quit fairly comfortably because I had money coming in from my niche sites. I already knew that path works, at least to some point. You can only know whether you're on the right path once you get results. And the question is success just right round the corner? You don't know. You don't know as a beginner. There's those cliches, there's the memes where the guy's digging for diamonds and he's right in front of the diamonds and he turns over disappointed, frustrated because he hasn't had any results, and he turned around just before he found success. Well, that's a nice meme, it's a nice cliche, but the truth is sometimes you're just going in the wrong direction, and it'll take you time to realize that, but don't be so foolish to keep going and going and going, wasting months and months and months if you're just going in the wrong direction. So those are my online business lessons for you today. If you enjoyed this, if you enjoyed those 3 lessons, found some value in it, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I've got a bunch more of these lessons coming soon. You don't want to miss them. See you next time.